folks, welcome into the Crossing Swords pregame show. I know I almost said Crowd Assist podcast because that's just what I'm used to, but here I am talking Sabres. Not exactly what I want to do on my Thursday night. Would rather be talking about Matt Milano's extension, but you know what? This is a good vibes only podcast here at Trainwreck Sports, and part of those good vibes are brought to you by our great friends at Manscaped, who are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. They offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels and mine. They obsess over all their technology developments and provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Part of those developments, the headlight on the top of the Lawnmower 3.0. I didn't know I needed a headlight on my razor until you know what happens. We don't got to talk about that. No details needed. With Manscaped, we're trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, and for good reason. So join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. Use promo code TRAINWRECK at manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping. Got Meerkat, Trevor, Jake from Happy Hour Hoops. Got a great lineup here to talk about a team that maybe isn't as great as this lineup here, but you know what? It's fine by me. Got at least we have a new opponent tonight in the Pittsburgh Penguins who we haven't seen this year yet. It's not the Devils and it's not the Islanders. So maybe that's a step in the right direction. Trevor, how do you feel about the Sabres matching up with Sidney Crosby, Malkin, and the Penguins there?
I can just say this. I never wanted Connor Sheary on my roster more than right now because he always seemed to play amazing against the Pittsburgh Penguins. But obviously, other than the Penguins, who was Connor Sheary really actually good against when he was a Sabre?
Yeah.
But in reality, I think we usually play the Penguins pretty well. But, this 8-game losing streak has just been a dark cloud over this team's heads. So do I think the Sabres go out and win this game or contain Crosby? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really think that they do. Just, being a Sabres fan for like 14 years now, I don't think that they do really stop him as much as they should. But you know what? We're going to get our feet wet against the Penguins a little bit for the first time this season, so it's definitely going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, part of the fun will not be Jack Eichel. Ralph Kruger told us today that minimum 7 to 10 day absence. We're hearing rumblings. Chad DeDominicis tweeted it out. A bunch of other people saying it could possibly be a season-ending injury for Jack Eichel. But, maybe pivot away from the game tonight because this season's already at a loss. Jake, do you think that there's any point in bringing back Jack with this injury, no matter what the timetable is really for it?
Yeah, I'm pretty much at that point at this point. I think he's been hurt like the whole year. Like honestly, we heard that training camp injury, right? And that was weird because he had it was like, why is he coming back now if it was that serious? And he hasn't looked like the same guy physically the whole year. Like he's not moving the same speed. I don't know. Like if it's something in his like core or something like that, that's something that you kind of just need to sit on for a couple months and just do nothing. Because he's been taking brutal hits. Teams are on him. They've focused in on him and they're aggressive with him. They've been physical with him all year, and you can just tell he's not looking for that contact most of it this year. So if it's been something that's been bothering him for this long, we're a couple months into the season now, then yeah, I'd rather take the more cautious approach. And honestly, I've been a huge proponent of Dylan Cousins in general at center because that's what he played his whole life. I didn't really understand Ralph not just kind of throwing him in the fire when they didn't have that kind of depth there with Girgensons out anyway. So now I think that's going to be a blessing for them to be able to see him because that first game looked great with him in that spot.
Yeah, in the presser earlier today, I did get a chance to ask Eric Stahl what he thought about Dylan Cousins, and just his response was on Cousins being at center. And he said he thought he looked comfortable, generated good speed in the neutral zone and controlled the puck, likes the way he carries himself, how he competes in practice and in games, and that keeps you in the league for a really long time. So Meerkat, Cousins on that first line looked really good last game. I don't want to take too much away from a 1-game sample size, but the Penguins are rolling out Tristan Jarry in net. He's by far their worst goalie. I've lost a few bets on him because I always pick teams to cover the spread against the Penguins, and they somehow he's one of those guys like Marcus Hogberg who comes up with I know you and I both lost money on the Senators with him with bad goalies. But you think Tristan Jarry is bad enough to where the Sabres, led by Dylan Cousins, might be able to put up a fight tonight, score some goals?
Maybe. I kind of like the Sabres in this position. I'm not going to lie, and love the Cousins line up top. You got the Sabres tweeted 5 minutes ago. The lines tonight, line 1 stays intact. I love that line right there with Cousins centering Hall and Reinhart. Reinhart's been so great this year, but Sabres could sneak a little something here. The Penguins started pretty down this year. I mean, but they're getting hot. They've won, 3 straight, 4 of their last 5 now. You're seeing Malkin on like a little 5-6 game point streak after a slow start. I mean, am I expecting anything out of them tonight? No. Maybe they give us a little bit of a rouse here, like last game. Maybe take a nice little 2-0 lead, blow a 2-goal lead twice in one game. Why not? But I have no expectations for this team. Shut down Eichel. Just ride it out. I guess they're just starting Johansson now instead of Hutton because maybe they're trying to shop Johansson, or just Kruger with the 2 buttons meme, and the left button is the blind guy and the right button is the perennial and AHLer. So it's just like, what are you going to do?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, they're not in a good spot. I tweeted something along the lines of that the season went from promising to concerning to bad to worse to laughable to, oh my God, please make it stop. And I think that's exactly where we are right now. The season's kind of a wash. Taylor Hall put it perfectly. And, Jake, back to you. I'm not sure if you saw Taylor Hall's comment saying, look how far we are out of the playoffs, playing more free. You think that was a shot at Ralph Kruger, or was that just him speaking his mind and maybe we're taking it out of context and reaching?
No, every veiled shot is definitely a shot to this organization. Like
Low
Stahl,
key.
I think you tweeted out the Stahl one earlier too, where he said, they asked him about the trade, and he's like, we know where we're at. Our focus is on beating Pittsburgh tonight. It's like, yeah, because you can't even think about that. You're just trying to win a single game. Like, it's not, this league is really not hard to like win a single game, and the Sabres have proven it to be hard. So open up the system. Exactly. It's just interesting, like that we've gotten to this point. Like you said, like it's entertaining. Like I am entertained. It's the are you not entertained gladiator game, because no matter what, every game offers some kind of just new level of, I don't even know what to call this anymore, because I thought we reached depths a couple years ago, and it just keeps going. So we'll see what it is, though. I know I see Sidney Crosby in my nightmares most nights when it comes to the Buffalo Sabres. So that's really what I worry about mostly going into this night in general, is just Crosby in his past.
Yeah, I mean, between haunting the American national team when he scored on Ryan Miller, that I feel like Crosby kind of has a place in every Buffalo fan's hearts, and it's the opposite of whatever the heart is.
The freaking Winter Classic too. You can't believe that.
Yeah, both those like back to back too. Pretty much, it was a tough couple months.
Yeah. These tweets texting in saying open the system up, let the boys play. We've been seeing a lot of highlights of Rasmus Dahlin going out there lately because he's not looking like the number 1 overall pick offensive defenseman. Cale Makar is looking way, way better than Rasmus Dahlin, despite coming out in similar times and not being nearly the prospect he was supposed to be. So, Trevor, before we get into score predictions, I'm talking about the rest of what we have to for tonight, I guess. Are you overly concerned with Dahlin, or do you think it is as easy a fix as fire the coach, let Dahlin fly? And anybody watching, let us know what you think. Comment, and we'll put your comments on the screen if you're too worried about Dahlin. Trevor, go ahead.
I'm not concerned because he's still at that age where he can still learn a ton. A lot of his flaws right now are coachable. You see how well he played in his rookie season. I mean, with Phil Housley, man, he was just tearing it up. Phil Housley was not a good coach, but my God, he got the best out of his best players.
Credit where it's due. He did, between him and Skinner.
And Jack Eichel as well. I mean, but Dahlin is just being held down by Ralph Kruger, as well as players like Jeff Skinner and Jack Eichel. I'm not worried about Rasmus Dahlin whatsoever. I think if you just fire the head coach, bring in a guy who can read read Rasmus Dahlin, and just let him fly. Let him be the player who he is, and he'll be fine. I'm not concerned, and I'm not saying like, oh my God, he wants out, like a lot of fans are saying. I'm like, no, you just gotta relax. I don't even know if he's like legally old enough to drink in the United States yet. He still has a lot of time to be that guy.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know if it's as easy as a fix as, you probably got to get the right guy in here, but I'm at the point, and maybe last thing, Meerkat, give you a chance to say something else here. The season's over. Do you fire Kruger ASAP and get a coach in here for next year, or just let it play out? Let the advanced darkness, bottom from Bikini Bottom reference there, let that continue. And, but at the same time, if that happens, who's going to buy tickets? Who's going to pay for the PCR test and then pay $40 to $150 on top of that? That's $100 night out just to go see some bad hockey. So, if you're the Sabres, if you are the Pagulas, fire Kruger now or wait.
Fire Kruger now. Don't sit around and hope someone else gets fired and a new candidate pops up. Like, there's a good coaching pool out there right now, and there's a lot of veteran guys. There's a lot of younger guys maybe under the radar. But I kind of just want the Pagulas to go with the veteran guy, someone who's proven in the league at this point. But get them in ASAP. Let them start getting around these guys, because the longer Kruger's here, the longer we're losing. And just having Kruger as a dead man walking coach, it's going to keep chewing away at these guys' morale. And, it's not saying the season's going to turn around by any means. Let the season be a wash, whatever it is, but get the new guy in here ASAP and let these guys start feeding into a new system. And just to poke on Dahlin real quick too, I want to blame Kruger for, his regression. And, he hasn't looked the same offensively. He's looked a bit, held back. But has Dahlin ever lived up to the hype of being like the actual elite defensive guy he's supposed to be? I've never really seen it out of him, offensively. Yeah, we've seen that flash, but I'm hoping it's just him still being young, being a part of something toxic right now, kind of impacting his development. I got faith in him, but who knows?
Yeah, T. Wilhelm 1998 asked who we're tanking for. Ty says Owen Power. It's not like the draft this year is anything exceptional. No. It's kind of one of the weaker draft classes, unfortunately. So it's kind of a bad year to be inexplicably awful. But, you do have Owen Power. You have Beignet from Michigan as well. A lot of guys from Michigan. They might have 3 players, I think, go in the top 10.
In the top 10, yeah.
No college has ever had that happen before.
That's
so
nuts.
A lot of good young college talent coming in the draft the past couple of years, and it's just continuing this year. And another defenseman from Frölunda, Simon Edvinsson, another guy right there. And Ty right there saying teammate of Eric Portillo at Michigan, Sabres prospect goalie, who's maybe looking a little bit better than Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Who knows? Eric Portillo might be our Lord and Savior here, but no one can save them tonight. We're going to get into predictions. I'll go first because confession time, guys. This is a safe space. I grew up a Penguins fan. My dad's from Pittsburgh. I've been to Penguins games. I saw Mellon Arena get collapsed as I was walking to PPG when I went to a game a couple years, way long time ago, maybe when I was still in high school. But this isn't me being a Penguins homer, but Harry, that's my dad's name. I'm going to say the Penguins are going to win. I'm going to say they're going to win 5-3. Just because Tristan Jarry's in, he does have over a 3.0 goals against average. He's not good. There are some times where he just looks completely erratic. He looks like Carter Hutton out there sometimes, like he went to the wrong eye doctor. So I'm going. The over's hitting 5-3. Penguins win. Meerkat, how do you see this going out tonight?
I'm going 4-2 Penguins. I just don't see the Sabres doing much. Give me a goal and an assist out of Evan Rodriguez for the Penguins. A little revenge game on that line too with Malkin. He's got 2 assists in his past 2 games. Watch out.
Wow. All right, Jake. Is the Evan Rodriguez train going to keep rolling tonight?
I don't know if that's the train I'm hopping on for tonight, but I just want to start off. With the Penguins in general, they are the bane of my Sabres existence. The first Sabres game I ever went to was 01 or 02 when they played the Penguins in the semifinal. I was there. I was like 5 years old. I vividly remember it because I was sitting in the middle of a bus of people from Pittsburgh for this game. Somehow in Buffalo, we ended up in the bus people in Pittsburgh. And of course, the Sabres lost, went down 2-0. We were sitting with all the dejected Sabres fans after the game. So that was my first Sabres memory. So I really, really hate the Penguins. With saying that, they're going to win 4-3 in overtime because that's just, I feel like, what we're destined for with this Sabres team. Exciting, but it's still just going to be a little bit of a disappointment. But I'll take the exciting over whatever we watched last weekend. So whatever.
So you're saying we're gonna have a 3-1 lead, we're gonna blow it in the third period, and then we'll lose in overtime?
Yeah. Crosby natural hat trick too, probably. So,
so 3-0, and then we wow,
Yep.
love it. Trevor, your prediction, and does Evan Rodriguez get a welcome back montage at KeyBank Center tonight?
Number one, Erod doesn't deserve any of that. Just saying. Number two, I'm done being optimistic on this pregame thing about the Sabres. So I think I got Pittsburgh winning 4-1 because the Sabres scored all their goals last game against Philadelphia. So they'll only score one tonight.
Yep, they're due for some regression. That's regression to the mean. For all you non-stats people out there, regression doesn't mean always going down. Sometimes it can go up. That's what's happening with Jeff Skinner. Maybe he nets one tonight. I don't know. Only time will tell. That'll do it for us here on the Crossing Swords pregame show. Thank you, Meerkat. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Jake Micah. I know how to say your last name. It's really great. Go Sabres. Good night now.